Hello again adventurers, welcome to another exciting video from Chiang, Thailand. And today we're gonna be hiking to Doi Klong Peak from Doi Pui Village. Let's get started! So we started this hike at the Doi Pui Village where you can park, and then the hike goes through this banana plantation where we even see some bananas growing here. The Doi Pui Village is already pretty high, around 1,300 meters. The hike to Doi Klong won't be in much elevation, we're gonna go mostly straight. Alright, after about half an hour of hiking on nice single trail through the jungle, we arrived to this crossroad, and up here you can continue to Doi Pui Peak, which is about another half an hour of hiking and is actually higher than Doi Klong, around 1,685 meters. And down here we get a view of the valley, but we can't see very far because of the pollution. At this point the path is starting to go a bit more steeper, and the jungle is also a bit more deforested here. Alright, and in another 20 minutes we arrive to another crossroad. So here on the right you go to Doi Klong Peak, maybe another 10 minutes. First we're gonna check out on the left, there should be some viewpoint here, maybe we can also fly a drone from there. And you can see the grass is burned around the path, so they probably used some chemicals to burn it up, which I'm not sure what the purpose is. It was perfectly fine to go through the jungle before. In just a minute we arrive to this little shelter where you can have lunch, and there should have been a viewpoint but it's obstructed by the trees. The path continues more straight over here, and we see on the map that you can make a loop around or even connect to other trails and to some other villages down there. We're just gonna fly a drone a little bit back there, and then we're gonna head to Doi Klong. So over here you can see the top of Doi Klong, and this is the first time flying drone in Thailand. Actually I wanted to fly a few days back, but I couldn't take off because the airport was too close. But over here was possible, and there are many more drone footages coming up from Thailand. Alright, so after I finished flying the drone, we realized we don't have so much time before darkness to go up and down this hill, so I decided to run by myself to the top while Sanya would descend slowly down. In just few minutes of running, I arrived to the top of Doi Pui Village, 1525 meters above sea level. And the views from here are amazing, but there is some kind of haze over the hills down there. I just hope it's not the pollution. And as I ran up so quickly, I had some more time left, so I decided to go a little bit more and explore this trail. And over here I'm getting the view of the other side, and this is the peak of Doi Pui. Just few minutes of going on the ridgeline, I got to this middle viewpoint, so it'll be much better to fly a drone from here. Again, the view from here is amazing, but there is this haze that you can't see much far. Over here is the saddle where we're flying the drone. From here the trail continues more down until mountain villages and some bigger roads that are not so far away from here. For me it's time to head back and catch up with Sanya. Alright, and in just few minutes of running from Doi Pui Village, already caught up with Sanya. It's incredible how much more you can see when you run versus when you hike. So even though this is not a true jungle, the trees over here are not that big and old, still the best place to be here in nature than down there in a polluted city. So definitely recommend this hike. You have a nice single trail pretty much to the top of Doi Pui Village and even farther. You can also decide to go to Doi Pui. The only disadvantage is that the hike starts very high at Doi Pui Village, which is about half an hour uphill from Chiang Mai. Over here you can see example of old and big tree. This one is probably around 100 years old. There are not that many left of them here, probably from extensive logging. Bigger trees like that also have a harder time surviving in a dry season, which is much longer and more intense thanks to climate change. Alright, and over here we're enjoying this nice sunset through the jungle trees. Over here we got out of the jungle and we're expecting a nice sunset. All we could see is the sun behind this thick grey haze, which I bet is a pollution from a burning of the fields and traffic pollution, but I could be wrong. Alright, here we are back at Doi Pui Village and we're just gonna have a little look at this botanic garden. Here should have been some waterfall, but it's just a little stream running down the road. You can also see the bats coming out of these little caves here. Alright, and here we are back at this temple where we parked our motorbike, so it was definitely hike worth visiting. Also possibilities of long distance hike through those villages. Maybe you can even connect all the way to Pai village where we plan to go next. Here I'm next morning at this running race. I wanted to sign up for 10 kilometers, but it was all sold out through online application, which I didn't know was happening. I would definitely apply online. Some open places for 5K, so I thought I would give it a go and I will try to do my best as always. Alright, so I finished first and actually it was my PB, 17 minutes 58 seconds for 5 kilometers, but it was longer than that. Fortunately, there was no prize for the 5K, so I couldn't represent veganism on the podium. Nevertheless, it was a good training and I was very happy with the personal best. Here are some clips of nature near the Doi Peak where I was trail running during these 2 weeks in Chiang Mai. Alright adventurers, I hope you enjoy our last hike in Chiang Mai, and tomorrow we are heading to the town of Pai. It's located farther north in between the hills. It's also a very popular touristic place in Thailand, but we are hoping to do some hiking there because we see it surrounded with the jungle and hills. So stay tuned for future videos, and as always, stay healthy and stay adventurous.